Get married young. Get married young. Get married young. That is going to be the topic of the video today. Getting married in your late teens, early 20s, and mid 20s. So we're talking about 18 to 25 years old. I think that is probably the best age bracket for you to try and get your first wife or a woman to look for her husband, however old he's going to be. You know, women tend to go to older ages in life. But me, as someone who got married at age of 23 multiple times, um, yeah, it's a blessing. It is the best way of keeping yourself safe away from zina or fornication in English. If you are struggling with all these temptations of online websites asking you and showing you things that aren't very good for you, um, then the best way to keep yourself away from those things is to get married, is to be with your wife, and have a halal relationship. Anything other than that is just going to make it harder for you to end up getting into a halal marriage. If you are falling into the sins of online or texting with multiple different women and not trying to get to marriage, but doing boyfriend, girlfriend, talking, doing charismatic talk to try and swindle these women out of potentially having the chance to be married to you, then you're just doing yourself a detriment as well as society in the woman's standpoint. Women, you have the best chances of having as many children as possible in your, I'd even say 16 to 25 range, because you're so young. You start at 16, there's no way that you don't end up having at least 4 kids in your lifetime. Having kids every, what is that, 4 years? Even if you had kids every 4 years, that would still leave you at 32 years old. You know, you're 32 years old with four kids. Then you can stop if you want or continue have any even more kids. A man, if he starts having kids at 18, has his first wife, gets his second wife at the age of 23, gets his third wife at the age of 30. How many kids could he have? If all of them had four, then he'll have 12 kids. Easy. Maybe one wife wants to go up above and beyond, gives them 6 kids. What is that? 14 children. Easy. It's better to get married young. Waiting until you're 30 years old as a woman to get married is a risk. It's a pretty big risk on how many children you can end up putting out in the end point. As a man, if you're waiting till 30, okay, that's not as big of a potential detriment to society, but it's still better for you to get married young, because then it'll stop you from potentially falling into something that could end up leading to you to having baby mothers or um, children out of wedlock, which is just going to trap you in the long run, which will make it even harder for you to maneuver and come to what you really should be, or become everything that you really should be. If you fall into those type of relationships and that type of situation, it's a lot easier for them to trap you in one place, and you have to work with this society. It's no ifs, ands, or buts that you're trapped. But if you have the ability, and if you have traveled and you've seen some countries, and maybe your wife is a foreigner and she has foreign status, maybe you get a second passport. You can live abroad and you'll be able to maneuver. You get money in America, go to the other country and spend money there, buy a house there. It's a better way to think about how to build your life. When you get married young, you have so much more of a chance to have your bloodline be successful. If you're waiting till older age, you're just potentially trying to set yourself back in that, well, maybe I do have this amount of kids, maybe I don't, maybe I do help society in changing the birth rate cycle of 1.6, and it's still declining in America. And raising it up, me giving the world 5 kids, 6 kids, that means you're taking on the responsibility from at least 3 different men. And that's truly a beautiful thing once you think about it. How God really blesses those who put their trust in Him and gives them more than what they could have asked for. I think that once you get married, you think that you're ready. You think that you're a patient person. You think that you have more of yourself under control than maybe you really do. And that's something I had to come into terms with, that I thought I was a patient person. I thought I just made Umrah. I've done everything. I've been praying Salah and I'm doing all the right things. But then when I get married and then something comes up, I end up becoming or turning back into the person I thought I already had left. So, yeah, that is definitely something that marriage will teach you at a young age. And getting that type of wisdom or that baseline of where you're actually at, then rather than where you think you're at in your journey of Islam and your patience and your wisdom, is very eye-opening. So let's recap on what we were talking about. You're married young. You see yourself. You see how patient you truly are. See your true patience. See your true patience. And that's just a great way for you to understand who you are. Who am I? Am I the person that gets angry? Am I the person that throws a tantrum when things aren't going my way? Am I the person that shuts down and can't continue on with trying to work through this disagreement with my partner? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Maybe that's your partner and you're trying to figure out how to deal with that yourself. So it's multiple facets. And when you're young, you have this thing called energy. You have energy, you have motivation, your blood is hot. You are willing to try different things to get to the outcome that you wish for your family, for your wife and your husband when you're young. When you are older, you have less of this energy, less of this motivation or desire. I think back to the time when I was going to make Umrah and the process of everything I had to go through. I was just thinking, how in the world would I have done this when I was older? If I was 35, 40, 50 years old, maybe I would have had more of a financial base level, because when I went to Umrah, I didn't have anything. I had a little bit of money, but I made it work mostly because of my youth and energy and my willingness and my drive. But I thought about it, like I was seeing many elderly people going to Umrah and fighting their age. They were fighting their age. And that was something I was a little bit concerned about for myself, because they're sitting down anywhere fighting age. They're sitting down anywhere. They're trying to find rest in different spots of Al-Haram, which is great. Of course, you're making Umrah, And doing it at an older age probably comes with more blessings. But doing it at a young age comes with its own blessings. So always think about what it truly costs for you to wait to get married. What is it truly costing you? Is it going to be beneficial in the long run for you to stay single? For you to just keep fasting and trying to curb your urges that you have as a man or a woman and just keep waiting? Of course, it's all in Allah's time. You should always be patient. And of course, I was patient for a very long time. After I had converted to Islam and my whole life, I was very patient on my wife. Now I've been blessed with multiple wives, alhamdulillah, multiple children, and that came through patience. But at the same time, I was also very goal-centered. Goals. Had many goals on what I wanted to accomplish to get to the place to where I could there take on multiple wives, which I have reached now. And I am very thankful to Allah because I wouldn't have been guided enough to even get to this point without Him. Alhamdulillah. But I always thought I was going to get married young. I always thought about my wife. I always prayed for my wives. I said, "Oh Allah, peace and blessings upon you, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Please give me 4 wives. Please give me 15 children. Peace and blessings upon the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Peace and blessings upon you, Al-Hakim Al-Latif." So I would make this dua every single time I went into salah. Every time I would go into sujood, I would make this dua, right? So next thing, dua. Dua is very important in trying to see the path that Allah has for you so you can be guided to it. The things I went through to get my wife, it was things I've never even contemplated. It was a path that I couldn't even come up with myself. Even if I had searched the whole world, I still wouldn't have come up with the plan that ended up leading me to my first wife. And then the plan that got me to my second wife was just so straightforward. It was so clear to me from the first standpoint of meeting that this was going to be my wife, and it became so easy. And when Allah makes it easy for you, there's nothing that can stop it, you know? When Allah makes something hard, it's hard for a purpose. But when He makes it easy, it truly is easy. And it was just a blessing. And children came after that, and my life is a blessing. So, I talk about this because I care for my ummah. I want my brothers and sisters to have success in this life. Not be alone. None of the Muslim sisters should be alone. None of them. All of them should have a husband. I know there's people out there that say, well, some people shouldn't be married. I don't agree. At least not in a Muslim ummah. I do not agree. Every man, every woman should have a wife, have a husband or a wife. Some sort of companion, at least once in their life. Maybe if they become widowed or divorced, or at least they had the chance. Everyone needs someone. Everyone needs someone. Everyone needs someone. I truly believe that. Everyone needs someone. No one should be alone in this life. I know they're trying to come out with all this AI and all these chatbots that are trying to curb the need of human interaction. which is stupid. I'll just come out and say it, stupid. Because even if it does become advanced enough to have a semblance of what a woman can provide, it still won't be able to give you a child. How are they going to cure that? How are they going to solve that? A child that's yours, not talking about the donation banks that people go to falsely go about this process. You always need to be thinking about your future. And your future is going to involve a husband, or it's going to involve a wife or multiple wives. It's going to involve children. It's going to involve a house. It's going to involve multiple things. That's what you need to be thinking about. That's what you need to be focusing on. Don't focus on all the negative that they're pushing nowadays that they tell you to give up. You'll never be able to find a wife. You'll never be able to have a kid. You'll never be able to have a wife, a halal wife. You'll never be able to travel. You'll never be able to make umrah. All these things they're telling you you'll never be able to afford. And it looks like that. But if you make dua and if you're patient, Allah will provide for you. Allah will provide for you. He will make it easy for you. He will show you the path of success. And if this is not meant for you in this life, then in the next life you will have exactly what you had asked for. Because no dua goes unanswered. Always encourage your brothers and sisters to get married as well, as I'm doing now. If you see a brother out there that's making a good amount of money, he has a nice car, he has a good place to live, and he is saying that he's not ready for marriage, you need to grab him. You need to pull him aside. You need to advise him. Bring him to my channel and tell him you're ready. You're ready. You're ready now. Don't wait. Wait for what? Wait to have more money? What is the money going to do? The money was just there for the baseline. That's all it's there for. Other than that, everything else comes from the knowledge of Islam and the trust of Allah. You need to trust Allah. You need tawakkul. That's a little bit of a rough writing, but trust Allah. Trust Allah. Trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every day, every night, every time you think about your future, trust Allah. And I first came to the understanding of trusting Allah and what it truly means is not to say that you need to put yourself in a situation to where you're fully reliant on Allah, but I had done that before in my life a few times when I've truly put everything on the line and I trusted Allah. I think I've done that twice in my life. 2 times. It's scary. It's scary. But when you trust Allah, He takes the fear away. It's the things that He does to make it so clear that it's the right decision that you're making. It's the best feeling because you can see everything falling into place. So you're like, wow. All I had to do this whole time was trust in Allah. And He made everything else work. Things that I couldn't even think of. Me, my personality, my traits, my characteristics are able to do this big thing, having multiple wives, having multiple kids, traveling the world. I would have never done any of this stuff without Allah, without guidance from Al-Hadi. You need, let's go into it. Drum roll, please. You need guidance from something higher than yourself. Your guidance is garbage compared to the guidance of the Quran and Sunnah. Your guidance is garbage compared to the dua that you make to Allah. You have no guidance in comparison. You're walking into a black abyss and you're trying to see how to get to the end of the tunnel, but you can't even see the end of the tunnel. You're in the abyss. You're walking around thinking that you're going the right way, but really you're just going in a circle, when you could be on Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight path. If you just trusted Allah, if you just followed His wisdom, His knowledge, His understanding, then you would feel as though there is no abyss, there is no darkness. Allah has granted you the ability to see in every situation. You will get married. You should get married. Gen Z, Millennial, Gen X, or whatever, you need to get married. Now, today, or tomorrow. Get engaged. Find someone. Find a woman, go to her father. Don't date. Don't fall into the garbage that they're pushing. Well, I need to get to know him for 2 or 3 months without him ever meeting my family. That's garbage. The woman knows it as well as the man. You're going to keep putting each other through all types of garbage hoops that are meaningless and baseless. Once you put down the baseline of what you're willing to put up with in a marriage, maybe 4 or 5 things, and then she has 4 or 5 things that she needs, boom, then you go to her father and bam, you set up a courtship timeline on when you should be getting married. And if you don't make it to the courtship era, don't make it to the end of the courtship, then that's it. But drum roll, please. Another word. Courtship. If you don't know what that word means, it's just a fancy word of going about it in a halal manner. Going about talking to her in a halal manner. Going about getting to know her family in a halal manner. Going about her meeting your family in a halal manner. Talking to each other respectfully. Respectfully. I'm going to put this one upside down. You see that? Respectfully. I know you probably can't read it, but I thought it'd be funny. Respectfully. Respect is always going to be a major part of your soon-to-be marriage. And you will see that. Get married. Close or far. Long distance or short distance. Long or short. Long or short distance. Get married. Get married. Do whatever you have to do to find a spouse. Make it happen, because that will lead you to a straighter path than what you're on now. Hot Cheetos every Friday night, watching the new Netflix special, drinking the new Kool-Aid, the cold Kool-Aid, sitting on the couch with the fam, and they're just looking at you and wondering when you're going to give them grandkids. That's not what you want. That's not the path that God has for you. He has more for you. You're destined for more. You are destined for more. You need to see that for yourself as Allah sees it for you. More. He doesn't give you small tasks. Allah doesn't give small tasks. He gives big tasks. He guides those who are willing to listen. Those who are willing to pray Salah, give zakat, read Quran and Sunnah, go to Jummah, go to Hajj, Hijrah, having multiple wives, taking care of multiple wives. He blesses those people. Why? Because their intention, let's go into that word, That's a good word. Boom, boom, boom. Their intention is set on the halal and the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And once they're following that, then why would Allah not guide you to being able to take care of all the responsibilities that come with those things that you are wanting to be blessed with? If you're wanting a house, ask Allah. If you're wanting a wife, ask Allah. If you're wanting another wife, ask Allah. If you're wanting a husband, ask Allah. If you're wanting to get married to a married man, ask Allah. And maybe Allah will guide you to my webinar on next week. And I will be the one to push you into or give you the nudge that you need to get that second wife or get married in the first place, or just the ear to tell you that it's the time now. The time is now. Get married to that married man and make him take care of you. Make him take responsibility for your child together in a halal manner. No boyfriend, girlfriend, no garbage. Get married young. Get married young. If you're starting to fall into the 29, 30 age as a woman in America, oh yeah, you're pushing it. You're pushing it. 25 is pushing it in America. Now, 25 is pushing it in America. For a man, I guess that age goes up to whatever, as long as you still have a certain type of income, but it won't be as fun to have multiple wives when you're older. Are you still going to have that same energy boost? Are you still going to have that same drive as you did as a young man? Will you still be so strong in your performance with your wives, huh? Let's be honest. No, you'll be older. You'll be an old man. And nobody wants to be with an old man. So get yourselves together. Get married young. Get these things together. It's not hard as long as you are trying to have the correct intention. And that's all Allah wants from you. He just wants you to have the correct intention. That's what I feel as though that's why He blessed me. I had the intention. I wanted multiple wives. I wasn't trying to date. I wasn't trying to have a girlfriend. I wasn't trying to flirt. When I did meet my wife, I wasn't trying to flirt. The first text were, "Where's your father? Where is he? When can I meet him?" And if they're trying to be halal as well, then that's blessings from Allah. If they're trying to help you get to their father and trying to set it up for you, then they do their part and then you do your part. What else is there? You go straight to the nikah. You get married. Okay? Women, do not be so afraid to give these men your father's information. Your father will be willing and able, and should be willing and able to sort through who is the best for you. And I would say, women, go, if there's a man that comes up to you and asks for your information, give it to him. And then give the information to your father. Then you'll be able to truly see how serious this inquiry really is. And you won't have to go off of your female bias, or maybe some of your homegirls are saying, well, maybe he's like this, maybe he's like that. No, you need the mindset of an adult man who has been there and done that, who understands the male psychology to see if he's really on the time of marriage or if he's really on the time of just playing around, playing games, talking, wanting to get things that he's not allowed to get. He's not been blessed with those responsibilities of you, right? It's a blessing to take on the responsibilities of a woman. It's a blessing. It's barakah from Allah. You get blessings for taking on those responsibilities. So take them on with courage and discipline. This is coming from a 23-year-old with multiple wives and multiple kids. Get married young. Join my live next week to talk more about my coaching and how I can help and guide you and push you in the right direction to get married again, get married to a married man as a woman. If you need help with these things, I am your guy. So stick around for the next week's live. Thanks.